Everybody, it's Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training, with our regular weekly broadcast and class of new insights and new awarenesses in the field of energy. I go over some of my teachings and my work in energy awareness training. And so if you're new to my videos and to my work, what I do is I teach a method called energy awareness training. And what that is it's the ability to, what the name says, be aware of how energy works, to be aware and to understand that there's a whole level of knowledge, there's a whole level of perception, there's a whole level of reality that most of us don't see because it's in the energetic worlds. And energy awareness training was created because so many of us, myself included, we're trying to make changes in our lives. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to be more positive. We're trying to overcome past pain or emotions or events or history that we went through that still has an effect on us. And believe me, they do. So energy awareness training is about being able to identify the hidden energy patterns that are inside us all. And it's an energetic operating system that has an effect on everything that we do. And this is the missing link in personal development and in self-development. Because in the regular personal development field, reading books, going to seminars, trainings, sweat lodges, shamans, all the things that they're supposed to have, hopefully make a change. My experience is they make little change, but not lasting change. And that's the important thing I think we're all looking for, is permanent change. Well, every Sunday I release a new video on different aspects of learning this hidden new world called energy. And it's all taken from a class and a methodology I teach with that name, Energy Awareness Training. And I teach people about the hidden aspects of energy. I coach one-on-one, I do group classes, I speak, and we're in the process now of writing my first book on energy awareness training, revealing these secrets. And that's what they are, they're secrets. I'm trying to get the word out and reveal these secrets, because when you really understand this work, your life changes. And my life changed from constant dealing with negativity, constant anxiety, stress, constantly trying to fight the thoughts in my head that were trying to convince me that life wasn't worth living, or that I wasn't good enough, or that other people are lucky, but I'm not, etc. All that negative chatter in our head. No one ever identified it. No one ever talked to us about what it is. And that's what we're going to do today in energy awareness training and in this video. Now, suffice it to say, excuse me, that one of the greatest scientists of the last 100 years, last century, Nikola Tesla, said that if you really want to understand the mysteries of life, all of life, then you'll start to look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay? And people go, oh, that's really interesting. Well, I took that to the whole nother level. I recognize that everything in this life that we're dealing with is energy. You may have heard that. You see that a lot nowadays, where it says everything is energy. Well, it's true. Everything is energy. You're energy. I'm energy. The air is energy. The plants are energy. You name it, it's energy. They're all molecules in motions having different functions. So when you start to look at things from an energetic perspective, you begin to see things that most people don't see. You're able to recognize and know and do things that most people can't do, and find and be aware of things that most people aren't aware of. And this is the ability to have what I call a superpower. Because when you become energetically aware, you begin to know, to be able to read patterns. You begin to be able to read all the things that energy is, behaviors, attitudes, points of view, intentions. All those things are invisible. An intention, a motivation. I can't show you the intention I have, because it's a non-physical thing. It's an invisible thing, an intention. You can't put it in a basket. What you can do is you can see what's the result of that intention, or what's the result of that belief or point of view that you have. That's what we want to talk to you about today, is how energy awareness training and energy awareness on its own has an effect on the way we look at things. So today we're going to be talking about self-worth and self-image. Now, as we begin, again, I lay the foundation. I always lay the foundation, especially if you're new to my work, which is we have energies that we're not aware of. I use the iceberg method. 10% above the water you can see, 90% of the iceberg you can't see. And in my work, I say that which we can see, we can control. That which we can't see controls us. So if you've ever had a question like, why do I do things that I know I shouldn't do? And why don't I do the things that I know I should do? And why sometimes when I have a goal or an outcome, do I take 2 steps forward towards it and sometimes 3 steps back? You ever wondered that? So what that essentially means is that there are forces inside you. I call them energies. There are forces inside you that are affecting you every single day, and you don't even know it unless you're energetically trained. And you think, hidden forces? Hidden energies inside me? Yeah, it's exactly what I'm telling you. We have an energetic operating system inside us. Just like the Mac has an operating system, Windows has an operating system. It's the same thing with us as human beings. We have an energetic operating system that is combined of our personal history, what we've been through, the emotions, the events, and especially what affects us is the negative events, the traumatic events, the emotionally upsetting stuff that we've been through. And we've all been through it. If you're a human being walking on this earth, you've all had challenges. You've all been through some pretty tough times. You've all wondered, man, am I going to be able to get through this thing? You've all questioned, is life worth living? Do I want to keep going? In some capacity, because we all have to deal with this. No one ever told us about that. We just figure, I just figure, man, am I the only one who has these thoughts and these emotions, and am I the only one with trying to struggle to keep it together and move forward and kind of not, kind of put up a happy face and not let people know that I'm worried about this or I'm worried about that or I got this going on, etc. So much of our lives is just trying to hold it together. And I know when I was in, junior high and in high school, I had a very upsetting time in growing up in my household. And I came from a very loving house, a very, loving family, mom, dad, and my sister. And there came a time when I went into junior high or high school, and my mom started to change. And she went from being my best friend, the mother of, best mother in the world, full of love and kindness. She taught me so many wonderful things. She's my best friend. And then she went through a change. And that sweet, loving mother that I had all of a sudden became really angry and really abusive and emotionally violent, yelling and screaming, and everybody was walking on eggshells. And I was dumb. You talk about an upsetting time in your life. Here I am, this early teens, and I'm going, what happened to my mom? she was, most of my life, she loved me and hugged me and was my best friend. And now she's complaining and yelling and screaming and making the house, a war zone. And I went through that through my adolescence and through my high school years. I don't know if you ever done that. You probably had a normal upbringing, right? Most people have challenges growing up. So, when I found out that I wasn't the only one, man, it was a relief, because I thought, am I the only one who's got this ball of stress and anxiety going on inside me? Everybody else looks so normal. And during those years, I'm trying to go to school and in my particular, I went to a private high school, and my parents, paid for it for the first year, and I got used to it. And then after the first year, they said, you know what? We're not going to pay for your high school anymore. You go to public high school like everybody else. It's like a big shift from, imagine knowing your mom and dad is loving and dependable and, normal way. And all of a sudden they change. It's like, who are you? You never treated me like this before. What happened? So I ended up having to, I said, well, I don't want to change schools. I've established myself here. So from freshman year on, I worked my way through high school. You heard of people working their way through college. I worked my way through high school to be able to keep going to the private high school. I took odd jobs, and I was one of those guys who would chalk the football fields, with all the lines, and do all kinds of stuff. And at the time, I felt like, I felt like a loser, to be honest with you. I felt like all the other kids don't have to do this. All the other kids, going to have fun after school and go to the beach, or, go hang out at the mall, and after school, here I am, and the only guy in the field, I'm doing the lines. Felt kind of lonely then. I didn't know at the time that it was building my character. At the time, I thought, wow, there's the blessed people, the people who got it good, and then there's me. So I always felt kind of like an outcast, going to school, and so I had this war zone coming back. Going to school is stressful, and then we come back to a war zone, with a parent that's got a some kind of problem, whether it's emotional or whether it's an addictive problem, whatever it is. It's like your anxiety level goes through the roof, and my anxiety level was just off the charts. And my mom was like threatening to kick me out, every other day. Can you imagine? You're going to high school, and your mother says, I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to throw you out of here. You're like, it messes with your mind. It messes with your security. It messes with your sense of self. So today we're talking about self-image, and I'm just giving you the highlights. Just want to say hi to a few people who've come on. Hey, Debbie, Petrea, you're with us. Dean, Rola, Matt. Hey, Nikesh. Glad you guys are here. If you would just give me a shout out on the chat, that would be really cool. Just say hi. Tell me where you're from, and any questions that you have or comments, put them on the chat, because this is an interactive broadcast. So I'm here at home, and my mother's threatening me, every day. And I'm trying to study and go to school. And again, I love my mother, and I really appreciated her. But I didn't recognize why she was so angry, and why she was so mad, and why she was yelling all the time, and why she was, threatening us. And my dad, he never stood up to her. He just took it. He just took it. And my sister was kind of like my dad. She just took it too. But for me, I was more like my mom. I'm going, what are you doing? I would confront. So we'd go head to head, and I would stick up. I say, I think what you're doing, you're not being fair. I think you're, why are you yelling at us, and why this? But you can't talk to somebody who's, got these things going on. I think they call it narcissist syndrome, where they're always right, you're always wrong, you do what I say or else, kind of like that fascist mentality. So every day I'm getting threatened, that I'm going to get kicked out, and I don't have much money because I'm working my way through high school. And finally, when I turned 17, she just says, out, get out. And I was just in my last year of high school, and I'm like, whoa. So that has a lot to, we're talking about self-image and self today. So when that happens, there's a part of me that says, wow, my mom and my dad are kicking me out. And just like, you're on your own, goodbye. Don't ask us for anything, bye-bye. And it got a lot worse than that, but I don't want to go into detail. Maybe I will one day, but it got pretty intense here. So I went off on my own at 17. Now, so we have parts of ourselves. This is what I want to talk. We have different parts of ourselves that we have to deal with. And remember, in energy awareness training, we talk about two forces that we're dealing with. We're talking about, like what Tesla said, if you want to understand the mysteries of life, you look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So I have a term for being able to distinguish energies that I call one of them a high vibrational or a high frequency energy. And that's the energy that wants to lift us up. That's the energy that wants us to attain our full potential. That's the energy that's open, that's free, that's expanding, that's loving, that's empowering, that's abundant, that feels good, that creates connection to other people, that gives us a purpose, that's all about kindness and compassion and sharing, all the good stuff, high vibrational energy. Well, in this world, one of the energetic laws I teach is a law of duality, which is if there's a high vibration energy, there's also going to be a what? A low vibration energy. And that's just the opposite. The low vibration energies are stuff like anxiety, worry, stress, anger, resentment, fear, doubt, desperateness, moving in, moving down, deceit, self-attack, which we're going to be talking about today. The thoughts that the whole purpose is to keep you out of high vibrational energy and pull you into low vibration energy, to pull you out of your happiness, joy, and peace, and to pull you into this dark place of anxiety, fear, stress. So these are energies that are actively operating inside us. We got to deal with it every single day. And most of us aren't aware of that. We're not aware that they're energies that are trying to influence us. And remember, since everything's energy, that all energy has a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction, and it gives off information. So the energy that I was getting, from living in my parents' house and that I got from my mom was low vibration energy, anxiety, stress, fear, worry, threats, anger. All that's low vibration energy. Now, I didn't know that at the time, but this is what developed my work here. So one of the things that you realize when you're energetically aware is that high vibration energy attracts more high vibration energy. Low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. And this is important because whatever the energy is, good, bad, or ugly, it's expanding. So when you're around happy, loving, kind, positive, active people, that rubs off and you feel good. And you feel good. You feel happy. You feel joyful. There's a synergy there. Consequently, when you're around people who are depressed or complaining or negative or who are unhappy, that is contagious too. That energy is expanding. So high vibration energy brings more high vibration. Low vibration energy brings more low vibration energy. Okay. Now these energies are active in that they're trying to influence us. They're the high vibration energy are the thoughts and feelings of emotions that says that you can have more, you can be more, you can do more, that you can make that dream happen, that you can be what you want to be, that you can have a good life and you can be happy and be prosperous and be fulfilled. That's the purpose of the high vibrational energy. The purpose of the low vibration energy is to pull you out of that. And thinking, no, you can't have what you want. No, you can't be happy. No, you're not worthy. No, you don't deserve it. No, you should be worried about this or worried about that or be anxious about this. So it wants to pull you into a place of suffering, into a place of anxiety, stress, and worry. And these are the two energies that are constantly trying to influence us, many times below our ability to see that. I call them the hidden energies. And you may have heard me say that which we can see, we can control. That which we can't see controls us. So we're constantly dealing with the energies that are affecting and trying to move us in a certain direction. So back to what happened to me. So I leave my parents' house. And I think, okay, I'm out of that craziness. I'm out of that war zone. Goodbye. Do my own thing. And thank God I've been blessed with a little bit of strength and a little bit of drive and power. I've been pretty much being able to make things happen or move forward in my life. But what was weird about it is that here I am, and even though I left that house, the house didn't leave me. The anxiety and the stress continued. And this is what happens to a lot of us. When I'm talking about the hidden energies or our operating systems, much of that energetic operating system is what our parents taught us, or what we observed in our household, or what we went through as kids, or what we experienced at school. And we're naturally meant to be high vibration energy beings. That's why when you're getting along with people, it just feels natural. When things are flowing, when they're easy, when there's kindness and good energy, it just flows. You don't think about it. You don't go, wow, things are going great. Everything feels good. I wonder why that's happened. You never try to figure out when things are going right. When do we try to figure it out? When things are going wrong. When things are happening that we don't want them to happen. When we're going, hey, that's not what I want. Hey, why is this happening? Hey, we want to be here and we're over here. What's the deal? Well, I often wondered that, and I thought, and that anxiety that I experienced, growing up in that house, I could still feel it inside, even though I moved to a 500 miles, 800 miles away. I still felt that fear and that anxiety and that low vibration energy. And it's weird. And today, talking about self-image, this is what happened, and this is what alerted me to how this works. So there's a part of me that says, Glenn, you could be successful. Go out and make your fortune. Go out and find a great girl. Go out and set the world on fire. So there's a part of me that's saying that, and I'm going, yeah, be successful. Yeah, have great relationships. Have a fulfilling life. But there's another part that kept reminding me, hey, remember what your mom told you? Remember what the kids told you? Remember when they laughed at you and you said you wanted to do something? Remember when you got put down? Maybe they were right. Maybe you're never going to be successful. Maybe you're never going to be happy. Maybe it's all for naught. Maybe you should just give up right now. So I got these two processes going inside my head. One, be successful, move up. Another one, no, you're not worthy. Stay down. And it's the internal fight that all of us go through. trying to deal with these thoughts, feelings, and emotions. That's what I call your energy. Your energies are your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. And that's your energy, which drives your behavior. Remember, energy drives behavior. You ask them, why did I do that? Or why did he do that? Or what was that guy thinking when he did this? He wasn't. You're not thinking. You're at the effect of your energetic operating system that's propelling you to make its agenda. And in our self-image, we have this internal dialogue. I call it the voice in your head. Some people call it the monkey mind, or the terrorist in your head. It's always trying to shoot negative thoughts in your head and try to convince you, it's not going to work. You'll never get that. They wouldn't be attracted to you. You're not. And so it's like you're playing, you got this ping pong game going in your mat. I'm worthy. No, I'm not. I should go for it. But what if I fail? But I want to be successful. But I might not make it. So it's every day you see people going from one to another, and that's our internal communication process. That's the way we communicate to ourselves. Now, isn't it interesting? Communication is the ability to relay a message, a point of view, a belief, an intention, a goal to people around you, especially the people who could help you do that. So we're talking to ourselves all the time. I find myself talking to myself all the time. I go, especially when you make a mistake, oh, why did I do that? I didn't mean to. You travel for and then you leave something in your hotel room. Oh, I left my thing at the house. Oh, how could I be so stupid? What did I do? Oh, you're mad at yourself. Think about that. You are mad at yourself. You are mad at yourself. Okay, so how does that work? There's one part of me that's disapproving of another part of me that's putting me down. So I got it seems like I got two forces in here. One's talking to the other one that says, oh, you left that thing in the room and now it's gone and you'll never find it. What's wrong with you? So the part of me that's judging me is putting me down. Huh? How does that work? Where are those thoughts that when you get put down, into the classic, you'll never be it, you'll never do it, you're not worthy, you don't deserve it, you're messed up. Those are the top 5 big ones that this voice wants to tell you. It's like, what part of me is telling the other part of me that I don't deserve it, or that I'm goofy or messed up? That's what we're talking about today, self-image and self-worth. So if you guys can relate to this, give me a shout out on the chat so we know we're talking the same language. If you've had that happen to you, and how often, it's not if it happens to you, it's how often it happens to you, in what ways do the thoughts in your head try to destabilize you? And does that affect you? How do you deal with the thoughts, these different thought agendas? One has the agenda that wants to pull you up and inspire you, and the other force wants to discourage you, wants to keep you stuck, wants to keep you safe, doesn't want you going out of your comfort zone. Okay, do you recognize these? This is important in our class today, to be able to recognize these forces, the high vibrational energies that want you to grow, expand, be all that you can be, and have what you want, have what you desire, make your dreams happen, whichever it is, in your career or your relationships or your health, or your finances, whatever you want to have good. Because all of us as human beings aspire to good things for us. We all want good things. We all dream as kids of being an astronaut, or being a rock star, or being a famous actor, or being prize-winning scientist, whatever it is. We modify those goals sometimes, and sometimes some people just know who they want to be and what they want to do as they grow up. And yet you notice the internal resistance, because most people don't get what they want. Most people are frustrated. You know, if you talk to somebody who's about to turn 30 and you say, you know, are you where you wanted to be in life at 30? Mostly everybody will say, no, I thought I'd be a lot. I thought I'd have this or be that or have accomplished this or done this by then. Then you talk to them at 40. Are you where you wanted to be at 40? No, I'm nowhere near what I thought. I thought when I was 40, I thought at least I'd be here and I'd be there. And it goes, that's the way it is every decade, 50, 60. You ask somebody who's 80 or 100 years and you say, did you do everything you wanted to do? Did you have the life you wanted? Most, not all, but most say, nah, if only I had done a little bit more. If only I had, and they fill in the blanks. Well, why didn't they? And my question to you is, why aren't you? If you want to make that job change, or you want to lose 20 pounds, or you want to get a relationship, or you want to get out of a relationship, or you want to start that business, why haven't you? Oh, well, because of this, because, okay. We all got reasons. We either have what we want, or we have the reasons why we don't have what we want. And everybody's got a lot of reasons. I know it. I've experienced it myself. Where I want to be, hey, I said I was going to go here, but I didn't. And oh, well, that's because of this and because of that. Whatever. You notice that the point being is that we're constantly evaluating and communicating to ourselves. And unless you're energetically trained, the bulk of that is the negativity. The bulk of that is these harassing thoughts of fear and anxiety and stress. And a thought will expand into a feeling. A feeling will expand into an emotion. An emotion will expand into a behavior. And a behavior will expand into a destiny. Some of you have friends. I've got a particular friend. He was, and I watched him. He was kind of like a older brother of mine when I was growing up. Guy was about 8 years older than me, 8 to 10 years older. I looked up to this guy. He's good looking. He was a musician. He drove a cool car and came from a rich family, and he was funny and a great guy. And I watched him over the years, and with all that he was given, he never did anything. Never made a career, never got married, never really accomplished much other than, getting an inheritance from his father. And I still talk to him. Now I try to help him, but now it's too late. So it is what it is. But I would ask him, I go, man, you're so talented with the piano and the singing. You inspire me. Why don't you do some playing to get out there? He goes, oh, I will one of these days. I need to learn more songs, or I need to get. Oh, okay. And boy, you've been put in a prime situation where you don't have to work. He got a trust fund from his father. I said, why don't you travel? Well, I'm going to, but I got my knees kind of messed up, and I'm not that. Oh, okay, and on and on. And I would watch it, and I would see him as, wow, this guy's got everything, And not only is he good looking and drive a cool car and he's educated, he's got a trust fund from his father. Guy doesn't have to work for a living. Oh my gosh, isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we all want? Oh, if only I could win the lottery. If only I had a trust fund. Well, let me tell you what happened to him. What happened to him was he would listen to those voices in his head that would constantly tell him he wasn't good enough. He wasn't. There's one religion where every time you go to the service, you got to say, I am not worthy. I am not worthy. I am not worthy. And you beat your chest. That goes into your thought matrix and comes out. So what happened is year over year passed, and it turned out the thing that the irony is the thing that would give someone all the opportunity to pursue the arts or pursue a business or pursue whatever it is, having the time and the money to do it, he didn't use it. He didn't do it. And now he's just kind of eking out an existence because he doesn't have to got a check coming in every week. He doesn't need to work. But what happened? This is a prime example of energy. Because everything was given to him, he didn't develop the self-image and the self-worth that work, that achievement, that accomplishment does. I mean, he had got a college degree, and that was a great thing. But for some reason, you know, when we talked to him, he's going, man, I don't want to get up there. He was operating on steady fear, anxiety, and stress. And we boggle our minds because we think, God, if only I had more money coming in, I'd be able to do X. And if only I had more time, I'd be able to do Y. And like that. Now, here's a guy who's got plenty of it, and he doesn't do anything. And why that is, and I'm mentioning this because it came up to, there's the same thing, a similar thing that I went through, only I went the other direction. Instead of listening to the thoughts of you're not good enough and you're not worthy and you're never going to be successful, and I just went, whoa, I got to fix this. I got to do something to fix this thing, because I can't live this way. I can't live with this anxiety and stress. I mean, I remember waking up, I'd be awake for 30 seconds, and then the negativity would start banging right in there. Oh, hey, Glenn, are you awake? Oh, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Or what if you don't get that? What if so all of a sudden, this thought energy is pulling me in a direction. So your thoughts pull you in a direction, and there's only two directions, up or down. There's only two fields: feeling good, positivity, moving forward, moving up, or moving down. So every thought, every feeling, every emotion that we have, there's always two or more things happening. There's the thought that you're thinking, the feeling you're feeling, or the action that you're taking, and there's the energetic direction that is bringing you to. So when my friend who was given everything came to a place of, okay, let's use your gifts. That's a high vibration energy thought. Yeah, let's go use your gift. Let's go out and play. Let's go out and, he wanted to perform and wanted to teach. Great, go for it. The two biggest words that are in opposition to your greatness, two words, you ready for them? The two words that sabotage all of us, that pull us out of our power, that pull us out of our high vibration energy, two words. You know what they are? Everybody ready? Drum roll. Yeah, but. Yeah, but. You could take your art, your dream, take a good step today, take a decisive action to move forward. Yeah, but. And that was my friend. I says, hey man, you write your book, or write a magazine article, or write a blog, let people, express yourself. Yeah, but I don't think I'm ready yet. But I think I'm going to work on a little bit more. Oh, okay. You have an opportunity to perform, or you're a musician, or a writer, or a poet, or there's talent night coming up 2 weeks. Learn a song, get up in the open mic, perform, or say your piece, or do your rap, or whatever. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm ready yet. But that disconnects the high vibration energy. So when I can say, hey, you can write your book, for example. Cool. High vibration energy says, write your book, or write your song, or write your novel, whatever it is. Cool. What does that take? It takes, first you have the idea, and then it takes action. Hey, I want to lose 25 pounds. High vibration energy idea, then it takes action. Hey, I want to change jobs. I want to get another job, and great. Takes action. So when you get inspired to go, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to start my new exercise or my new diet or my new whatever. When tomorrow comes, guaranteed there's going to be, yeah, but I should work out today. Yeah, but I'm tired and I haven't eaten yet, and it's the weekend. Yeah, oh, okay, yeah. I should start saving. Start saving more money and saving up for a house or saving up for retirement or yeah, but I got these expenses. Yeah, but you see how that works? So there's a whole process inside us, which I call our energy. And we don't recognize that there's an intelligence that's actively trying to destabilize us from our happiness. And it works in our thoughts, gets into our thoughts. When we have the yeah, but, or I'm not ready yet, or anything. Now think about that. Or let's experience this. You get a thought that says, yeah, I could get in super shape. Yeah, or I could write my book, or yeah, I could, do this new thing, or learn this new skill, or learn a new language. Yeah. That one moment makes you feel good because you think about, wow, that's going to enable let's say I learn French. I can go to France and speak French with the people, or I learn how to play the mandolin or the banjo. I can, play with other bluegrass musicians, or I could, whatever it is. It's like, yeah. And then it comes down to, what do you need to do that? And that's when the low vibration energy comes in and says, yeah, but don't forget, you got to do that. And you can't do that yet because of this. And you go, oh, and it makes perfect logical sense, these thought processes. But the reality is that there's an energy force that's driving you in a certain direction, either driving you up or driving you down. And if you're not aware of the process, you'll think that the low vibration energy thoughts are your thoughts. And you'll allow yourself to be influenced in a way that's pulling you in a certain direction. So you always use the example of working out, going to the gym. But it could be anything. It could be doing your run, or it could be, watering your lawn, whatever it is that you want to do. You got the inspiration. Yeah, I could be this. I could do this. I could have this. Yeah. And after the inspiration comes the action. You have to take action here in the physical world. In the mental worlds, we can go, yeah, I'm an Olympic swimmer. I've won the gold medal. Yeah, and in the mental worlds, you can visualize that. But in the physical world, in order to make that happen, it takes action. It takes activity. And we have to keep moving if we're going to attract more of the energy that we want. Remember, high vibration energy, thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions create more high vibration energy. Low vibration energy, thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions create more low vibration energy. Okay? So you're either doing what you aspire to do, or you have the reasons why you don't. And in order to go to a place that's higher or different from where you are now, let's say learning a language, for example, or learning a new skill, it takes focus, it takes time, it takes perseverance. And over that time, over that process, you're going to be pulled in different energies. See, how many times have you started something and, it was a big goal, or, again, lose weight or get in shape, the ones I use, change your diet, learn a skill, etc. And you're all pumped up to get it going. And you get it going for a while. You get it going for a while. You get it going for a while. And then what happens? The momentum slows down. And you start hearing from the other side, okay, hey, you're making progress, but you could take the day off, or you don't have to go to the gym today, or you can cheat on your diet a little bit, or you can, and then slowly from one direction starts to move into another direction. And so many of us have started things with glee and with strength and with power, and then it kind of peters out. You ever notice that? It's true in projects. It's true in relationships. You start a relationship and it's great and it's passionate, and over time it changes. It starts to peter out. It's different from the way it was. Why does that happen? It happens because people aren't energetically aware of the processes that are going on inside them. They're not actively aware that every day, whatever you choose to do, whatever you choose to be, whatever you choose to have, or wherever you choose to go from here, that's going to take time, focus, attention, persistence over time. There's another force that's going to try to block that. There's another force that's going to try to destabilize that. That's going to try to weaken your will. And consequently, so many of us have experienced, I was going to lose that weight, or I was going to learn that language, I was going to do that. But something else came along that pulled us away from our goals, that pulled us away from our focus. That's why, personal development and motivational speakers are so popular, because we need to hear good things on a regular basis if we're going to be able to move up. We all need encouragement every single day. We need inspiration every single day. We need to actively do something to stay in high vibrational energy. If you've heard me say, the way the energies work is, in order to have high vibrational energy, you need to take some action. You need to do something. It takes activity to activate the high vibration energy, the good stuff, feeling good, feeling in shape, moving, growing, expanding. All of those things take action, take being in motion. Now, the low vibration energy, all the stuff that we don't want, that's free. We don't have to do anything for it. If you want to be what do you have to do to be out of shape? Nothing. What do you have to do to be overweight? Eat as much as you want, right? What do you have to do to stay at the same intelligence level that you are now? Nothing. And that's what my friend did that I talked about. He had all these opportunities and all the resources in the world. But he didn't recognize that he was being manipulated and pulled down by this energy. And as a result, his self-image was in the basement. He had his self-image very low. You go to parties and go, hi, people say, hey, what do you do? And he'd say, what do you do? And he'd go, my father takes care of me. I'm on a trust fund. Hang his head in shame. It's like, I told him, hey man, that's a little bit too much information. I mean, you're already smacking when you tell people what you do, you feel bad about it. He goes, well, I do feel bad. I feel I haven't fulfilled my potential. I said, well, you haven't, but that's what it is. So, and you can, and I explained it to him. I go, hey, whatever these things that, these big dreams or goals you have to desire, you got to start. And they start with keeping moving forward. And if you notice, when people say, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, very rarely people do it. That's why when people actually fulfill their dreams, we make them champions, we make them heroes. right? We make them demigods. You know, Michael Phelps got the gold medal. He said he was going to get it. He got it. This guy's incredible. Why? Because most of us say we're going to lose 10 pounds and we don't get around to it. Or we say, you know, we're going to learn a new skill so we can get a better job, never get around to it. We say we're going to like it. Why? Because it's the second law of thermodynamics. In the physical world, what goes up must come down, or at least has the potential for coming down. Things happen for a while, you have a tremendous momentum, and then what happens? It dissipates. This is why I created in energy awareness training daily exercises to be able to clean, clear, and cleanse your energy every single day. You have to be on top of it, because if you're not on top of your energy, the low vibration energy is going to be on top of you. Okay, I repeat that. If you're not on top of your energy and constantly being aware of your thoughts, emotions, feelings, and recognizing the energies for what they are, that there are empowering energies and there are destabilizing energies. And you have to know how to dissolve them and release them every day. It's like taking a shower for the body. Every day when we go out, you know, our bodies get sweaty, bodies get dirty. Come back, we got to clean them. Some people don't, but they're not too pleasant to be around, right? And here's the thing. And if you don't take a shower and if you don't clean yourself, is that a high vibration or low vibration? Well, not doing anything is low vibration energy. Just like, got other things to do. I'd like to take a bath, but etc. So what happens? Day after day after day, low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. So you get around something, right? From that one thought that said, I don't need to do it, to the one inaction that didn't do anything, creates more of the low vibration energy. So we're talking to ourselves, and what the low vibration energy does, it tries to infiltrate our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It tries to make us think that its thoughts are our thoughts. So when we have whacked out thoughts, sometimes we all do. Everybody's got a whacked out thought somewhere of, hey, why don't you do this? Or, hey, why don't you try that? Or, you know, why don't you just crazy stuff? You know, I give the example, you know, when I was in Manhattan a couple of years ago, and I'm on the 68th floor of this guy's penthouse apartment, you know, and I'm looking at the view and I'm looking over the railing and it's a long way down. And then I hear a voice from somewhere says, jump, jump, jump. I'm like, what? Where's that thought coming from? Whoa, and it's not my thought. So it's like you have like a foreigner inside your head that's trying to feed you thoughts, that's trying to get you to move into the low vibration energy. And it's very slick. Well, in energy awareness training, I called my work energy awareness, because being aware of the energies in this world is really the highest awareness, the highest consciousness that you can be in, because we're affected by energy everywhere. Everything is an energetic exchange we're doing. You know, we're having one right now. You have it when you go to work. You have one with your relationship. You have one with your health. You have one with your family. You have one with your money. You have one with your hobby. It's all energies moving around. And we are energetic sending and receiving vehicles. Now, we're talking about self-image and self-worth today. And if you're not aware of that, and I wasn't aware of that growing up, you believe the talk. You believe the lie, and that's what it is. The low vibration energy is constantly trying to feed us lies. Why? Because its agenda is to pull us into a low vibration energy field force, which is a nice way of saying suffering. Wants us to suffer, wants us to be anxious, worried, doubtful, fearful, etc. And if you're not energetically aware, you're going to let that low vibrate, that LV, I call it LVE energy, you're going to let it beat up on you. And when it beats up on you, it makes you feel bad. And I felt bad for many years while I'm trying to heal and fix myself. I'm walking on fire. I'm doing this thing and that thing and reading this book and going out to the desert. And man, anything I stand on my head, anything I can think of, if it would help me deal with this condition of this torment of the negative thoughts in my head. So the best I was able to do is hold them down. It's just to hold them down, right? Hold that, just keep that, and keep them from trying to affect me. So I would be engaged, and I get a thought that says, you're not worthy. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. You don't deserve it. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You'll never have that success you want. Yes, I will. No, I won't. Yes, I can. As long as you're engaged in that thought process, you're gonna be the effect of it. So what we do in energy awareness training is we get out of the thought process. We get out of the crazy thought thinking, and we identify right away the nature of the thought, feeling, or emotion. And we identify it to say, that's either a high vibration energy, thought, feeling, or emotion, or it's a low vibration energy, thought, feeling, and emotion. And since our normal operating system is to be in high vibration, is to be positive, is to have things going good, that doesn't take anything to think about. It's that when we're suffering, that's when the thoughts come. Why am I suffering? Why didn't this work out? Why didn't I get more help? Why did I have to work my way through high school? Why did I go like this? And it brings you anxiety, stress, fear. All of a sudden, why? Yeah, why? What kind of energy is that? Why did I have to go through that? Why do I? It's pulling me down. It's pulling me down. So in energy awareness training, what we do is we learn to be aware of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and any thought, feeling, or emotion that shows up as any form of low vibration energy, stress, anger, worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, whatever. We're aware of that before the thought actually expands into a feeling. So you get a crazy thought or some thought that says, like if I get a thought now that says, you're not worthy of this, I went, take a big breath. I recognize it. I can recognize the intent of that thought, which is to destabilize my energy. I'm not going to let it. I got a feeling, do you remember that one time when the kids laughed at you? Especially I do a lot of speaking and before large groups. And one time I got up and spoke when I was in the 6th grade, and I made a mistake. I got one fact wrong or something, and all the kids laughed at me. And I thought, that's why public speaking is such a confront for most people. So when I go up now, the thoughts come because they never disappear, no matter how high you go. But what they do is they lessen from being strong and powerful. They lessen into this weak little thing. So when any thoughts try to come across for me, from a low vibration energy, I can spot it a mile away. I go, I've created an energetic field force. This is what I do in the exercises every day through the breathing. And I think I may take you through one here in a moment. I've developed the ability to create an energetic circumference or aura to keep the negativity out there. And that's the message that I want to give to everybody about this work, that there's no need for you to suffer anymore, especially internally. There's no need for you to put up with disabling, negative, low vibration energy, anxiety, worry, doubt, fear thoughts. There's no reason, because that's not who you are. And that's a foreign energy that's trying to take you out and pull you into the direction of low vibration energy. So when it comes to self-image and self-esteem, you heard that a lot, self-esteem. Well, when I learned self-esteem, it was one of the things I learned was coming up. You say to yourself, I am worthy. I am good. People like me. And I deserve it. Sounds like Mr. Rogers on Saturday Night Live, right? Or whoever that person was who do those affirmations. Well, you know what? You can tell yourself you're worthy till you're blue in the face. But if you don't take the energy out, dissolve it, and eventually release it so that it's not a factor anymore, you're still going to be fighting. You're worthy. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am, etc. So your self-image and your self-esteem, all of us have given that power over to somebody else. We've let somebody else define who we are. Especially in relationships. So many of us place our self-image and our self-esteem in with our relationship. We say, oh, I've got this great relationship going. I'm very happy. I finally found somebody I can get along with, etc. Oh, okay. But what happens when that blows up or when that goes away? I know I went through that. I had a gal that she was just breathtaking. I just loved being with her. Unfortunately, she exhibited a lot of traits, coincidentally, that my mother did. And in the beginning was loving and kind and just the best thing I'd ever found. And as time went on, what did we talk about earlier? The way it started out kind of dissipated, kind of went down, kind of changed form. And then we ended up breaking up. And as good as I felt in that relationship was as bad as I felt being out of that relationship. Why? Because I had made her the source of my identity. I'm going, wow, I have her. We're together. We're this super couple, etc. And now that she's gone, who am I? What am I about? I had so much of my love and my focus on her. Now I'm alone. Now she doesn't want me anymore, or she doesn't want to continue the relationship, or whatever excuse it was. Now you're on your own again. Oh, and then what happens is this low vibration energy voice attacks you. That's what I call self-attack. This voice attacks you and says, "You're not lovable. You're not worthy. You're not worthy of love. You're going to be alone your whole life. How does it feel to be alone and lonely?" And you listen to these thoughts, and if you don't know, it's somebody, it's another foreign entity trying to mess with you. You go, well, it's so sly. This foreign entity uses your facts against you. It says, well, you broke up, right? Yeah. She doesn't want to continue the relationship, right? You are no longer a couple. That's right. Well, you know what that means? That means you'll never be loved again. That means you're screw up in relationships. That means that you can't have the relationship you want, et cetera, et cetera. And you're like, oh, I'm not worthy of a relationship. Oh, I'm never going to be happy. Oh, I'm going to be alone my whole life. Oh, yeah. Whose thoughts are those? Are those the thoughts that you choose for yourself? If you don't take control of your energy, the low vibration energy will take control of you. And this is the awakening. This is the aha moment that I had that changed my life from having a self-image of the memories of my parents kicking me out of the house and me being on my own and me trying to, go through life and in my career and all the things I've done, should kind of show up as strong and powerful, when inside, I'm scared to death. Can you relate to that? Can anybody relate to that? You're putting out a good front and you're scared to death that people are going to reject you, or people are going to, quote, find out that you're not what you seem to be. This tremendous internal fear that we have, that it's part of the human condition. How do we deal with it? Well, you can try positive thinking and motivation, and that might get you through the day, I guess. But what really works is being able to change the energy. And in my work, I teach that nothing changes until energy moves. Energy's got to keep moving. Your energy's got to keep moving because movement puts you in high vibrational energy. Again, remember, we want high vibration energy. It's what I say here. What do I have to do here? It's early afternoon. What do I have to do for the darkness to come in about 8 hours? What do I have to do? Nothing. I don't have to do a thing. I don't have to do a thing. Dark is going to come in here. It's going to be pitch black if I don't do anything. But if I want there to be light, if I want to be able to see where I'm going, if I want to be able to, to be productive here, I got to get up and I got to walk over to the light switch over here, flip the switch, and activate the energy. And this is the metaphor for us. If we want to live in our highest, fullest potential, we have to activate our energy every single day. I heard a great example of the GPS. So what's a GPS? The GPS will tell you where you want to go. From wherever you're at to wherever you want to go, whether it's the next block, the next town, across the country, the next continent, whatever it is, the GPS, the global positioning system, will show you where to go. But you know what will prevent that GPS from working? Not moving. If you don't move, if you're not moving, if the energy isn't moving, if the vehicle's not moving, the GPS doesn't work. It can't show you where you need to go unless you're in movement. And that's the way it is energetically. And our self-image, our self-esteem constantly needs to be nourished, just like our energy, because we have a relationship with ourselves. And there's the good part of us and the not so good part of us. Like you say, there's the light part of us and the darkness. There's the happy part of us and there's the sad part of us. Now, in energy awareness training, the first thing that we teach you how to do is to eliminate suffering, is to eliminate that thought or emotional process that's constantly taking you down. You've got to eliminate that, or else you're going to be living with it. And I lived with it for 25 years. This thing, man, hey, Glenn, are you awake? Okay, just want to remind you, you're not good enough. Just want to remind you, the goals you're working on are never going to happen. Just want to remind you that, you're going to be alone your whole life. Okay, have a nice day. That's what the LVE wants to do, the low vibration energy. Now, if I just listen to that, how am I going to feel? Pretty not good, right? I'm going to feel disempowered. However, when I start my day and I do an energetic body scan and I go, okay, how's my energy? Oh, I got some negativity going. Oh, I got some stuff. Okay, what do you do with it when you know? The first thing is to know what energy is flowing through you, and the second is how to get rid of it. And there are many methods that we have in energy awareness training to do that, but at least shift your perceptions from in your head to out of your head. If you learn one thing about energy, is to get out of your head and to stop the thinking process. Because it's the thinking process. Why? I'm not worthy. Why am I not worthy? I don't know. Let's talk about more worthiness. Why should I be? Well, I don't know. Like that. And you're just in your head going back and forth like a ping pong ball. Energy awareness is to be able to step up and make a decision. I'm taking back my energy now. I'm taking back my energy. That means that I'm going to be conscious and aware, hence energy awareness training. I'm going to be consciously aware of the thoughts I'm thinking, the emotions I'm dealing with, and the behaviors that I'm doing, and know that they're either in high vibration energy, they're going to make me happier, or they're in low vibration energy, excuse me, and they're going to make me miserable. High alkaline, high vibration energy water, good stuff. It really is. There's really something to it. It's high alkaline water. You think, oh, does it really make a difference? Well, it makes a difference, especially with the flowers. Because if I put regular tap water in the flowers, they last until about Wednesday. But when I put this in here, it's the alkaline water. You can get it from Trader Joe's. The flowers stay alive 50% longer because of the water. So it makes sense to be drinking alkaline water, you guys. All right. Hope this is coming through. Let me take a little break here and say hi to everybody who's coming on. Hey, Daniel. Citizen has joined us. Hey, Linda. Glad you're here. Sheila. All right. Sheila's in the house. Gino, my man. Good to see you. Sheila, hey. All right, let's take up some questions and any comments that you want to discuss here or lay them on me. Hi, Jose. Good afternoon. Okay, Brother Glenn, yeah, speak a universal language. Thank you for resonating. Thank you. Yeah, if you've come on, if you just on the chat, just say hi, where you're from, and if you're enjoying the class today. I appreciate hearing from every single one of you because it helps me get the broadcast out to more people. And really, when people ask me, what's my purpose? I created energy awareness training because I was able to heal myself first. And I was able to take these wounds, these thoughts, these emotions that have been haunting me for decades, and neutralize them and dissolve them. And that's the big difference. See, you can talk to somebody about it until you're blue in the face. I could talk about somebody, about my mother, or your father, or your parents, or your brother, your abusive brother, or that, you can talk about something, and you maybe feel a little bit better, but it doesn't move the energy. Nothing changes until energy moves. Remember that, you guys. Nothing changes until energy moves. So learning energy awareness training and learning how to be energetically aware is the most important thing you can learn in this life. To everybody who hears me, learning energy awareness is the most important thing you can learn. Why? Because it affects everything that you do. First of all, it affects your relationship with you. It affects your own self-esteem, your own self-worth, your own self-image. If you're not energetically aware, you're going to be constantly getting pulverized by those low vibration energy thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And of course, they're lies, but it feels real. And for example, Marilyn Monroe, one of the most beautiful women of her time, was plagued by horrible low self-image, horrible self-worth. And she grew up, she was abused when she was younger, I think many times. And that had an effect on her. All of that, that's part of her energetic operating system that she experienced. And that's what I mean when I'm telling everybody that your operating system, what you've been through, what you've experienced in life, especially the unpleasant stuff, that has an effect on you. And that's literally affecting every moment. So for example, if you take Marilyn Monroe's example, grew up, many foster homes, was sexually abused by the people in those foster homes multiple times, grew up to be a very beautiful and an attractive lady, became an actress, etc. And yet the energy from those traumas, from that abuse, stays with you, doesn't go away. This is really important information. If you look at the people who are right now coming forward with stories of abuse, of sexual abuse, of violence abuse, be in their 40s, in their 50s, or older, and they can still remember as if it was yesterday, that moment, that abuse, or that upset. While I was in the process of clearing myself and healing myself, I could still remember. If you can still have a memory where you can think of something that happened that embarrassed you, or that traumatized you, or that upset you, when you were younger, and if you can still feel a little electricity, about it, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that memory. Ugh. Just if you still got a little electricity about it, it's still affecting you. It's still affecting you. Whoa. You can't run from it. It's like me running from my shirt here, trying to run away from it. Go away. I don't want you anymore. You can't run away from it. In terms of the training, it's an energy that attaches itself to your energy body. So wherever you go, it's there with you. It's kind of like a tick or tapeworm. You know how they get in there and they stay in there and they just start sucking your energy. You know, and the analogy of the tapeworm is, you know, it starts using your food and it starts interfering with your process for its own agenda. That's exactly what the low vibration energy is. The low vibration energies glom onto us. That's why we feel it. If you don't feel it, if you didn't feel it, it wouldn't be affecting you. So rather than me, you know, trying to think positive, that everything's going to be fine, why don't I just take out that low vibration energy that's trying to pull me down and get rid of it once and for all? Doesn't that make more sense? And that's what we do. That's what you learn how to do. Now, energy awareness training is a 10-level course, and it covers all the gaps of life from A to Z. Relationships, health, thoughts, emotions, dealing with our past, our childhood, our relationships, how we feel about ourselves, all of that stuff's energy. So whatever you're doing, whether it's relationship, whether it's keeping yourself healthy, whether it's sports, it's all affected by energy. And if you're energetically aware, you can sidestep and avoid the negative or the low vibration energy, because you learn how to see it and spot it. And it's like a train on the tracks. So much of the low vibration energy is like the train coming to us, and you're standing right on the tracks. So many times we didn't even know we're standing on the tracks, and it's coming to us. Well, when you're energetically aware, you can see the train coming down the tracks. And as you see the train coming, you're smart enough and you can say, okay, I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to step aside and I'm going to avoid this train wreck. Wouldn't it be great if we're able to spot a potential disaster in love, God forbid, in love or in work, and sidestep it? That's why I call this energy awareness training, to be aware of what's good for you, what's not good for you, to be able to see what most people don't see. You know, it comes back to relationships. We've all gotten into a relationship with someone that we thought in the beginning was going to work out. They were wonderful. Everything's good. And then what happens? Over time, it starts to dissipate. Remember what we talked about in the class today? It starts to dissipate. And then what? Goes away. And what are you left with? Usually some kind of suffering and sorrow. And then you say to yourself, hey, if only I had known then what I know now, I never would have done it, right? So the question I always ask my students is, why didn't you know? Wasn't it pretty clear now? And you go, yeah, there were signs, no two ways about it, but I didn't see them, or I didn't want to see them, right? You didn't see them, so you were unaware. And think about this. Everything we're dealing with is energy. Don't you want to be aware of what's coming your way and know if that energy is something you want versus something you don't want? You better believe that. And that's what we do in energy awareness training. So wrapping it up here, what's our self-image based on? Our self-image is based upon our ability to stay in high vibration energy as we communicate to ourselves. And how do we do that? Well, the first thing is you learn the basics, which we teach in the course, of how to clean your energy. And the second, you recognize that you're going to be having two forces trying to pull at you, trying to get you to join their side. And you want to be able to step back from the thought process of any anxiety, worry, and stress and go, whoa, I'm stepping back from that. It's like I give the analogy of the river. You're either, if you're in the river in a kayak, you got to deal with you got to be fully present. You got to deal with the rocks. You got to deal with the streams. You got to deal with the current. You got to deal with the undertow. Versus if you're on the side of the river, you can see where the river's coming from. You can see what it's like when it passes you, and you can see where it's going. And if it's going over a waterfall, you want to make sure that you're not in that tide, right? Okay. It's the same thing with being energetically aware. My goal is to get this work out to the world. It's my mission. It's my cause. Because if I had known this work and been aware of this, 2 decades ago, I could have eliminated myself a lot of suffering and a lot of pain. But you know what? It's all good, because that suffering and that pain enabled me to want to do something about it, wanted to overcome it. And now that I've done it for myself, I want to be able to share it with other people. So I believe that as this work gets out, as people recognize, whoa, I don't have to suffer. Whoa, you mean I don't have to listen to that madman in my head? What, you mean that I can learn how to avoid stepping on booby traps in love or in finance or in jobs or in health? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. A whole realm of unlimited happiness awaits you here in Energy Awareness Training. And I invite you to come learn what it's all about. You can, I'm going to put a link here where you can, I have a video where you can actually learn how to move your energy. I'm talking about learning how to be energetically aware. I have a video that shows you exactly how to do that. And I'll put that here on the chat here as we wrap up. Okay, just want to do one more shout out to everybody here. Hey, Daniel joined us. Great. Beautiful. Matt? All right, cool. All right. If anybody has any last minute comments or want to give me some love, hey, I'm all about it. Bring it on. Bring on the love. I want to leave you with this one last story of a gal that I met yesterday who spoke at a conference that I was at this past weekend. And it was one of the most amazing conferences that I'd ever been to. They had world-class, well-known people in different areas of life, in sports and business, talking about their biggest challenges. And one of the gals there, who I think she's maybe in her mid to late 30s, she started her own cosmetic company from scratch. Forget the name of it. I don't know much about cosmetics, but somebody may know. She started it out of her apartment working with her husband. And she said the first 4 years, she was up against it. And she was trying to get her products out into the marketplace, into companies that could distribute it. And this gal, very pretty gal, but she's heavy. I'd say she's about maybe 30, 40 pounds over heavy. I'll just say heavy. And I mentioned that because she mentioned it. And she said, I would go to talk about my makeup, and people would say, nobody's going to buy makeup from you. You're heavy. You're not the ideal size. And she heard that. She said, I heard that 4 or 5 times, and every time I'd cry for 3 days. And then all these thoughts would come up. I'm not worthy. This is never going to succeed. Who am I to think that I can, have a company and fight the giants? But she just kept going. She just kept going. And she allowed herself to do exactly what I taught you in this class, to be able to watch the energies of the thoughts that were going in her head and go up. And she made the decision that every no she got was going to turn into a yes. And she said, I just had blind determination and I was all in. There was no, yeah, but it was like, I'm all in. And she said, for 4 years, I had no life. 4 years, I was just a workaholic. I was married to my husband, and our marriage took an incredible toll working together. And she says, I felt like having a nervous breakdown 3 or 4 times. And she kept asking, she kept knocking on doors, she kept hearing no. She kept knocking on doors, she hearing no. She kept knocking on doors, and not only did they say no, what they would tell her, we don't, in essence, we don't think you're worthy. We don't think you got what it takes, right? Haven't we all heard that? You don't have what it takes. Well, she had an interesting story of how this came about, but to shorten it, she had an opportunity, 4 years, and she said, I was holding it together by a thread. And she was at a trade show and made a bold move to go contact someone when she said, you're not supposed to go and leave your booth. But, I said, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Boom, I went over to one of the most successful worldwide brands of cosmetics and made an appointment with them. And I thought, this could be my big break. This could save my company. And she saw them, she did the presentation, and they said, no. And she went home and I go, how much more of this can I take? Well, someone who had overheard her pitch to that person who was on a board of another company called them and said that they were interested in making and having them carry the products. Started carrying the products. Thing went through the roof. She got on Home Shopping Network, and she had an idea for how she wanted to present. And the people in Home Shopping Center said, forget all that. We'll know within a minute or two if you got a winner or a loser. She says, because we give you, what do they say? I think they give you 6 or 7 minutes and to present whatever you're wanting to sell. And they said, you have to do $10,000 worth of sales a minute for you to be successful here. If you don't, we'll just wrap it up and call it a day. So, okay, she went on after 4. Now, I didn't even go through all the pain this gal went through. I mean, pain after pain after pain, rejection after rejection after rejection. No. She says I could fill a reservoir with all the tears I cried after my feelings were hurt. She went on Home Shopping Network. Sold out in 6 minutes. Sold out. She had a hit. Finally, after all that, product was a hit. And that led to one thing to another. The company just skyrocketed, and she got an offer for a buyout after 8 years of over $1 billion. She sold the company for $1 billion. I'm going to look up the name of it so on the next broadcast to give it to you. And now what is she? Still in her 30s. It was an 8-year ordeal. She says, I never would want to go through that ordeal again, but I'm glad I did. And if only I had known then what I know now, I never would have cried one tear. Because I would know that everything I'm doing is building my future. Because as I continued, after no, as I continued, I was moving in a high vibration energy direction. And high vibration energy has to attract more high vibration energy. She kept moving. She kept filling the orders. She kept asking more people. And, if somebody said to her, look, you're going to start this cosmetic company, it's going to be a real pain in the butt for about 4 years. You're going to be more stressed and depressed than you ever have. But around the 5th year, it's all going to come together. And by the 8th year, you're going to be a billionaire. Would you do it? Was it worth it? Yes, it is. You bet it is. But we don't know. See, we don't know. That's why in energy awareness training, we move into a high vibration energy field every day. And that high vibration energy field creates an energy field of being unlimited, of all possibilities, of power of miracles, of things that you can't even conceive that could happen. I mean, she couldn't conceive herself being a billionaire. She was just trying to make a living, selling her cosmetics to her company. She was just trying to stay afloat. But the high vibration energy had bigger plans. And I'm here to tell you that the high vibration energy, the divine presence, your unlimited energy has big plans for you. That the dreams that you have can materialize and will materialize if you stay energetically aware and stay in the direction of the high vibrational energy. And again, how do you do that? You got to do that every day. You got to do that every day to clean your energy, to clear, to be aware that, as you get up and as you walk out the door, there are forces that are going to want to empower you and inspire you. And there are forces that are going to try to take your dream away from you. And as long as you're aware of how that goes, you can control. And that's what energy awareness training is all about, controlling your energy and staying in a high vibration energy no matter what. And eventually, as you practice and you go through the levels, you attain a place of energetic freedom. And what that is the ability to stay happy, joyous, and free, to be able to stay in an empowering energy field no matter what you're dealing with. And this is why I tell you, the most important skill you can learn is to be energetically aware, because all of us are going to go through challenge. Many of us have gone through lots of challenges. We're gonna have to deal with different emotions. We're gonna have to deal with parents, losing your parents someday, may it be a long time from now, or relationships changing, shifting. Because remember, energy is always moving. And the key I want to let you know is that we're infinite, unlimited, eternal beings. Our energies, that's what our energy is. You've heard it called the soul. I call it the energetic body. And it's inhabiting a physical body that's finite, that has a beginning, that has an end. So when you get who you really are, you're able to navigate and be empowered in the physical world and also in the energetic worlds itself. And that's the only place you can be happy, is to be able to have that connection so that you can transcend the limitations of the physical world. Because sometimes it gets heavy. It gets really heavy living in this world and in this frequency. And there are tools and trainings to be able to lift us up and to regenerate and to move in a high vibration energy frequency every day. I want to teach you, I want to introduce you to this so that I can be supportive of you to keeping your dream alive, to keeping your goal alive, to keeping you at a high vibration energy level every single day. Okay, that's it for me today. That's what I wanted to tell you. I hope you guys learned something. If you learned something, just give me a shout out on the chat and tell me what principle that you got the most out of. Would appreciate that. And while you do, I'll just let you know that you can contact me here on Facebook Messenger. And again, I recommend that you're going to my website that has the free video of me taking you through basic exercises to learn how to manage and control your energy. And it's energy awareness training /get unstuck. So I'll put that in the chat here. And then you can learn how to do that. And if you want to learn, and again, the most important skill you'll ever learn, contact us and we'd be happy to talk to you. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel, Energy Awareness Training, and we love what we do. And it's all about being the best you can be. And I want to support you, I want to empower you. I want to tell you, hey, you're an unlimited, unstoppable being. If your energy is in alignment, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't be. There's no change that you can't make when you really realize your energetic greatness. So remember, nothing changes until energy moves. Change your energy, change your life. Okay? All right. I think that's going to do it for me. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you again with the next time with the next teachings of energy awareness training. This is Glenn. Lots of love. Bye for now.